Hey, greetings, North Carolina. North Carolina Realtors. It's Sean Carpenter in Columbus, Ohio, and I'm here for Mobile Mondays. I'm Sean Carpenter from Columbus, Ohio, joining you today to share with you some secrets and some strategies on 4 levels for a successful real estate business. So we're going to let a few of your fellow North Carolinians jump on the line here, and then we'll get started. Once again, my name is Sean Carpenter. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. Been an agent for 20 years, got licensed in 1998, and I am an active agent in Central Ohio. I also travel around the country and do real estate presentations to audiences in the real estate industry, as well as leadership groups and people outside of the real estate industry in sales. So thank you for jumping on with us. Kelly, Renee, good to see you guys. How are you? Go ahead and type in the comments really quick if you can hear me okay. Just say, yes, we can hear you. And maybe let me know where you're tuning in from today. We'd love to know what the weather's like in beautiful North Carolina. What part of the state are you in? And where are you located? What's the weather like? We got blue skies, Carolina blue skies up here in Columbus. My apologies to all the Duke and North Carolina fans whose teams are no longer alive in March Madness. But thanks for joining us. We're going to get started here in just a minute, talking about the 4 levels of a successful real estate business. Really, when you look from the top down, we're gonna make you think a little bit differently about maybe how you have your business set up right now, and are you contacting the people at the different levels in a way that makes sense and is the best use of your time, effort, and money. So good to see you guys. Kelly, you are in Fuquay Varina. Never heard of that, but sounds pretty. I'm most familiar with obviously the big cities, Charlotte, Raleigh, Pinehurst, and then when I cut through on the east side over there, on my way down to Fayetteville, beautiful Fayetteville. So thank you guys for joining me once again. This is Mobile Monday. I'm Sean Carpenter from Columbus, Ohio. Let's start talking about the 4 levels of a successful real estate business. I think when you look at your real estate business, a lot of realtors just kind of pile all their names and contact information into what they call their database. So let's start with level 1, and we're going to look from the top down. I like to say from macro to micro. And the first level we're going to talk about, and I made some little visuals here, is your database. Level 1 is your database. And you see their definition is anyone I have contact information for. That's my database. Anyone I have contact information for. So if you think about it, most realtors have a database, whether it's a CRM, whether it's a client relationship manager system, or whether it's an Excel spreadsheet or a recipe box with index cards. That's what I used for the first 3 years in my business, was a recipe box with index cards. So it doesn't really matter what you use for your database. It's anyone you have contact information for. It's your names, addresses, emails, phone numbers for your friends, family, anyone you have contact information for. So let's start there. That is our very top level. Hi, Rosemary and Julie. Thanks for joining us. Two of my good friends from Inman, my Inman days. Rosemary down in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and Julie over closer to the Charlotte area. So we got level 1 is our database. Let's look at level 2. Level 2 is our sphere of influence. Our sphere of influence. Got that? And this definition is I know them and they know me. I know them and they know me. So if level 1 is our database, level 2 then is our sphere of influence. I know them and they know me. Now, this is really important. Everybody understands this. Everyone in my sphere of influence is part of my database, but not everybody in my database is part of my sphere of influence. Let me say that again. Everyone in my sphere of influence is part of my database, but not everybody in my database is part of my sphere of influence. Because remember, your database is anyone you have contact information for. Anyone you have contact information for. So your database might include your homeowners association. Maybe you get a roster of all your homeowners association residents. Maybe you have a list of the members of your gym or your church or your country club or all the kids that play in your son's baseball team. So your database is all these names and numbers of people that you may or may not know. You may be on the way home tonight to stop at the grocery store, and you need to pick up some milk, and in front of you is someone from your church, and behind you is someone that lives 3 blocks from you in your homeowners association, but you don't know them. So they're total strangers. So our sphere of influence is a much tighter number. I know them and they know me. So whatever numbers in your database is X. X minus is what's in your sphere of influence. So if you have 1,000 people in your database, you might have 600 in your sphere of influence. Okay, so that's level 2. Let's keep talking. What's below level 2? Level 3 then is what we call our clients. And you see the definition there. They've done business with me in the past. They've done business with me in the past. So all of our clients are part of our sphere of influence and part of our database. Our clients, notice I didn't say the word past clients because they're still your clients, aren't they? Just because you've done business with them in the past, we want them to be our clients for life. We don't want to think of them as past clients, so just call them our clients. Now we casually say the word past clients because it does sound natural to come off our tongue to say past clients. But our past clients are people that have done business with us in the past, and they're also part of our sphere of influence because I know them and they know me. Now, some of you might think, well, I have some clients that I don't want to be in my sphere of influence. And what I hear you saying then is you have clients that you don't want to be friends with, but they are in your sphere of influence, right? They are in your sphere of influence. And because if you saw them at the grocery store, at the airport, at the ball game, at the gym, you know them and they know you, but you're not necessarily going to be close friends with them. My doctor, for instance, is in my sphere of influence. We're not friends by any means, but if I saw him at the airport, I'd say hi to him and I'd be able to talk to him about his family and what's going on in his world. So that is who our clients are, okay? And then our next level down is the most important level, and that's called your bullseye. Your bullseye. Now look at this definition. It's an awesome definition. It says, these people want my success almost as much as I want it myself. These people want my success almost as much as I want it myself. These are your best people. These are your fans, they're raving fans, your fan club, the people that are going to help you grow your business. If you think about it, these are the people that are going to continually be referring you opportunities. Maybe part of your bullseye are clients of yours, but there's a good chance that some of your bullseye, the people you're thinking of right now that are your best fans, they've never been a client of yours. They've never actually sat at the closing table, but they've been part of the reason why you've been successful. So let's go back. If our database is level 1, how many do you have in that category? Just write down on a sheet of paper right now. How many do I have in my database? Anyone I have contact information for? Level 2 was our sphere of influence. I know them and they know me. Write down, how many people do I have in my sphere of influence? How many people do I have that I would consider someone that I know and they know me back? Level 3 are our clients. Our clients, they've done business with me in the past. It means they were at the table. They were the seller, they were the buyer, and you got them to the closing table. They've done business with you in the past. How many clients have you had in your career? Write down that number. Now, you know what's interesting is some of you that are watching this, you're not writing down a number. You're just guessing, well, I think I have about 80 or 175 or 351. You should know how many clients you've had. Remember when McDonald's used to have a number on the sign? Some of you guys probably remember that. Hit like if you remember that. You remember when McDonald's had a number of how many hamburgers they've sold on a sign. Well, that's because they knew how many clients they've had. They know how much business they've done because they run their business like a business. And we as real estate agents should be doing that as well. We should be running our business like a business. We should know how many clients we've had. Because when we can start thinking about our numbers, we start be able to make better business decisions about how much business we've done with how many people and how much is repeat and referral business. And then that fourth level down, that bullseye, these people want my success almost as much as I want it myself. I'm going to tell you how many people to put in that category. So your database is just a number. Your sphere of influence is a number. Your clients is whatever it is, how many clients you have. For your bullseye, I want you to write 20. 20. And here's why. I want you to start thinking right now, who are my top 20 people? The top 20 people that want me to be successful. Because if you think about a calendar, if you lay down a calendar on your desk right now and you cut out Saturdays and Sundays, because we don't necessarily have to work or prospect on the weekends, how many business days are left in that month? If you cut out the weekends, you got about 20 days, don't you? And so if each day one of your 20 Bullseye people has their name in that box on the calendar, that means that's their day that you reach out and talk to them. You try and earn top of mind awareness with that person. So let's just use the people on this call. Let's say Kelly and Raquel and Rosemary and Julie are in my list. And then maybe I have Mike and Billy and Simon and Sally and Michelle each day. But the day that Rosemary's name shows up on my calendar as part of my Bullseye, it means I reach out to her that day. Rosemary, hey, it's Sean Carpenter. What's going on today? Hey, did you watch the game last night? Or, hey, am I going to see you at the club this weekend? Or, hey, I drove through your neighborhood. It doesn't even have to be real estate related. These are my best 20 people. So all I want to do is make sure that on that given moment, they're thinking about me. And then about every 20 days, another phone call, another personal pop by, another visit, look, these are your best people. These are your spouse, your kids, your parents, your maid of honor, your buddies you play golf with. Excuse me. These are the best people. So seeing them isn't that big of a deal, but you're just making sure that they stay top of mind awareness for you and you stay top of mind awareness for them. Now, if you think about this, let me go back to the visual here. Let me fold this over so I can point it out. The bullseye is where you get the most points, right? In the center of the bullseye is where you get the most points. If you're throwing darts, if you're shooting archery, getting the bullseye is where you get the most points. And so when you think about your database like a target, right? These people out here are total strangers, but these people are your biggest fans. They're your fan club. They're the people that help you be successful. Should we be spending our time, our effort, and our money with the people in the center, not the people outside? Too many people in our business, y'all, they try and grow a bigger target. They think to themselves, if I have a bigger target, I can hit more people. I can get more business the bigger my target is. So they're trying to grow their target bigger with strangers. See, they're going out here and trying to get strangers at the middle and working their way out. See, imagine if you started the day in the middle with the people who know, like, and trust you, who have already supported you, who have been your clients and have been supporters of yours and have referred you business. That's who you should start your day with, because if you're super busy and you only make it this far, who'd you talk to? The best people. See, out here are total strangers. These are strangers out here. These are people that know, like, and trust you. We should be spending our time, effort, and money there. So these people out here, maybe they get an annual newsletter. These people get your newsletter, plus they get your monthly emails. These people get that, plus your quarterly market updates. These people get that, plus your bi-monthly beer tastings. These people get that, plus invites to client appreciation events, and so on. So these people get the most time, money, and attention. These people get the least time, money, and attention. I want you guys to grow a business that's so good, you don't need to push strangers in. You're going to attract them from the inside out. You're going to attract those people. So your database, your sphere of influence, your clients, your bullseye. That's the 4 levels of a successful real estate business to make sure you're spending the most time, effort, and money on those people. Once again, think about your marketing approach right now. Think about your touch campaigns. Think about how you're talking to people. You wouldn't want to be talking to people that are in your database that are, for lack of better words, they're total strangers. You have their number because you have the school roster, because you have the phone book from your kid's school. And so these people would be in my database. These are just random phone numbers of parents of kids that go to my son's high school. So I don't know these people. I know some of them. I know some of them from other relationships, but the ones I know from my son's baseball league and from the golf course, and from church, those people are in my sphere of influence. They're going to get different attention. They're going to get different touches. They're going to get different phone calls, texts, face-to-face, pop-bys than the people in the lower tier, all right, or in the higher tier. Then my clients get a different level of touch altogether. So my clients might get touched every 30 to 45 days because why? Because I want to stay top of mind awareness with those people. Now, some of my clients might be part of my bullseye, the people that want my success almost as much as I want it myself. And remember, let me remind you, sometimes people in your bullseye will not be clients of yours. My younger brother has been a client multiple times and he's referred me multiple pieces of business. But my mother has helped me get business, but she's never actually been a client of mine, but I would consider her in my bullseye. My wife has never done business with me, but she is part of my bullseye because she's someone who is trying to help listen for opportunities out there of someone who might be buying or selling or know someone who is. So let me just stop and see if there's any questions about anything that you guys might have about those 4 levels, because once again, we're talking about our database, and that's our big pile of names. Then there's our sphere of influence, the people that we actually know and they know us. Then there's our clients. How many clients do you have? Don't call them past clients. See, if I called your dentist right now and said, hey, Dr. Smith, who's Julie Tambusi? They'd say, she's one of our patients. They wouldn't say she's one of our past patients because she came in last year and got her teeth cleaned. They'd say she's one of our patients. They're our clients. And then there's our bullseye. Now, how do you follow up with these people? What is your system? Well, hopefully you have some sort of a CRM or some sort of a system in place, but each of your levels are going to have different time frames. I use a system that I can set up my clients in different little piles. It calls them buckets in the system, but I can set up for this bucket I want to touch every 30 to 45 days. This bucket I want to touch every 45 to 75 days. And then each time I touch them, I just make a note about the contact I had, what we talked about, and then the timer starts again. And the next time I talk to them, the timer starts again. And so if it goes 75 days without talking to those people, they're going to show up on my dashboard in the morning. But if I talk to them 21 days from now, or I see them in person, or I talk to them on Facebook and have an extended conversation, then I just go into my database, or into my CRM, and I communicate that. And then it just sets the timer back that much. So I'd be curious to know how you guys are setting up your business. Are you using different levels, or do you have all of your clients piled into the same sort of bucket or same sort of mass? And then how do you decide the way that you talk to them? Because if you have 600, 700 names piled in the same pile, then you're probably just going to randomly pull some names out to contact. And a couple you're going to pull up and you're going to say, oh, I don't want to talk to them. I talk to them, and, I don't know what to say to them. Well, then you might as well take them out of your database. You should be pruning your database on a regular basis. If you think about pruning your database, pruning your list of people, the same way we think about pruning rose bushes or pruning azaleas or pruning our plants at this time of year, why do we do that? We prune the weak bushes so that the flowering blossoms can get more sunlight and more nutrients. And so sometimes pruning allows us to do more because we're taking things away. So Rosemary's question is, how would you handle a good friend who also has other agent friends? Great question. A lot of our friends know other people. If you think about it, let me see if I can grab a sheet of paper here, Rosemary. That's a great question. So let me use a visual here. See, all of us know, let's say you have 275 people, Rosemary, in your sphere of influence, okay? And let's say that I have 300 in my sphere of influence. And let's say that Julie on here has 200 in her sphere of influence. Well, let me just show you. Let's just say that there's you, there's me, and there's Julie, okay? Well, this person here knows all 3 of us. Isn't it common that people in your sphere of influence know more than one realtor? Sure they do. So the question has to become, if that person thinks about real estate today, would they think of me? If your friend who also has another agent as friends, would they think of you when it comes time for their real estate needs or when they know someone who has real estate needs? And the question every day, Rosemary, becomes, how do I make sure that they think of me? Because I communicate with them in person, because I'm socially connected with them, because I see them in and around my community, because I have lots of signs in their neighborhood, because I follow up with just listed, just sold cards. We just got to touch them more. We've got to show more top of mind awareness. We've got to earn that top of mind awareness in their mind. We have to be more relevant and knowledgeable about the market. So it's a challenge. Boy, it's a challenge in a city like yours in Fayetteville, where there's so many realtors and there's just a smaller population. Imagine being in a city like Houston, where you have 40,000 realtors in one city. You could literally throw a rock and hit someone who's licensed. So you know this, Rosemary, because you're so good at it, but it boils down to relationships. It boils down to, am I building relationships, solving problems, and having fun, so that when someone out there thinks of real estate, I'm the first name they think of. I might know other realtors, but who do I think of when it comes to helping me, my family, or people I know? So it's just about making sure that we are staying top of mind awareness, making sure that we're hitting people all the different channels we can, right? Whether that's direct mail, whether that's phone calls, whether that's face-to-face, whether that's flyers, e-newsletters, social media, all the different ways that we can talk to these people and find out what's going on with them. Raquel, what is the one CRM software that you recommend using? Gosh, there's so many out there, and find one that works the way you do. I use a tool called Contactually. It was in the news a little bit recently because of a company that bought it, a bigger company bought it, but it still works for me. It thinks the way I do. I'm a very relationship-driven agent, Raquel. So I like to communicate with people on their birthdays and anniversaries, and I can put the client's name, the spouse's name, kids' names can be in there. I have a section for notes. I can put them in different drip campaigns or follow-up timeframes, not so much drip campaigns because I don't really do a drip campaign, but I do want to stay in touch with these people on a regular basis. And so when their name comes up, I can communicate with them. I can leave a note for how I communicated with them. So the next time their name comes up, I can see all my communications with those people in the past. So if you're going to use something that allows you to store their birthday, the spouse's birthday, the kids' birthdays, anniversary, pet information, where they work, social media channels, all those different things. So I have more reasons to talk to those people. I see Rosemary, she says she has a spreadsheet with her A's, B's, and C level clients. So very similar to database. Maybe she has A, B's, and C's. So my guess is you have your database and your sphere of influence, but then inside your sphere of influence, you have A's, B's, and C's, right? And your A's might be your A plus clients. They've done business with you in the past. They are friends and family. And then your B's are the people who have shown interest in real estate. Your C's are those stay in touch with, and then your D's are your deletes or dumps. You're constantly moving your C's up to B's, your B's up to A's, and your A's up to that A pluses. Hi, Danica Fletcher. This information, yeah, it is simple information. It's almost too basic, right? But I think people try and get too detailed instead of just saying like, what level of the pile am I going to deal from? I want to deal with the people that are closest to the center. The bullseye people are the best people because they've already shown me based on their past behaviors that they will spend their time, effort, and money to help me grow my business, whether that's they've been clients setting the table or they've helped me refer to clients. But it really is that spend my time, effort, money on the people who are most supportive of me. Being more intentional about your relationships, build a stronger foundation. 100%, right? It's a relationship business. And so the more I can build a relationship with people truly on a person-to-person level, that when they have a real estate need, then they go deeper than just the transactional part of it. And they say, who's the person that can help me best through the transaction? See, a lot of us can be doctors. Doctors make more money, but nurses get better reviews, right? Because nurses have that personal touch, that bedside manner. And we need to be practitioners of both. We need to have great service and tremendous knowledge and technical skill to get to the closing table. So love these. Yeah, Rosemary, boy, back to the basics. It's probably one of my least favorite phrases because we say, let's get back to the basics. We should never have to get back to the basics. We should just do the basics. Every single day, we should just do the basics. The things that we know end up bringing results, building relationships, solving problems, having fun, providing something of value, being knowledgeable, being thankful, just appreciating our local community. When we can help our customers, our clients, and most importantly, our community with their real estate needs, our community will help us with our real estate needs, right? Bob Berg in the book, The Go-Giver, says your relationships, your personal sphere of influence is your safety net and your fishing net. If you build it well and treat it right, it will feed you for life and keep you safe. So such a cool analogy. But so let me just really quickly, for the people who just jumped on, level one, let me find it here. Level one is our database. That's anyone you have contact information for. All right. Level two, next level down, is our sphere of influence. I know them, they know me. All right. I know them, they know me. Level three then is what's called our clients. They've done business with me in the past. And then level four is our bullseye. All right. These people want my success almost as much as I want it myself. And we should start each day aiming for the center where we get the most points, the most bang for our buck, and then come back tomorrow, throw our darts at the center and try and be successful. So see if there's any more questions. Guys, this has been great. My friends in North Carolina, hopefully you guys have an amazing spring. I'll stick on here and see if there's any more questions, but I don't want to take too much of your time. It's a great Monday, so go out there and start maybe looking at your database. Start analyzing who in my database is my sphere of influence and who's just database people, because the database people should be getting less of your time, effort, money. They should be getting some of your information, yes. But the closer into the center of the bullseye, you get more detailed and more personalized because they've earned that right. You need to show them there's a little difference between brokers, and you're going to give them a little different level of service. So see if there's any more questions. Hopefully, if you guys like this, hopefully if this was the best webinar you've had so far in April, which it's April 1st, so hopefully it is the best webinar you've had, the best Facebook Live you've been on so far this year. A lot of good information. Guys, you can connect with me. You can find me on my blog. It's called Carp's Corner, carpscorner.net. That's CARPSCORNER, all one word, carpscorner.net. I've been blogging for a little over 10 years now, 11, 12 years now, almost 900 blog posts. I blog every Monday with a little thing called the Monday Morning Match. It's a little idea, inspiration to get your week started. And you can connect with me also on Twitter or Instagram at Sean Carp. So on behalf of all the North Carolina realtors out there and my friend Rosemary, who invited me to join us today, I'm Sean Carpenter. Thanks for joining us here on Monday Mobile Live on the NC Realtors page.